Premier Preps rolls into the new year strong, and we've got some great games on the hardwood this week. Top 10 boys action with Inderkum, Monterey Trail, Folsom and Christian Brothers. Tournament championship action between Del Oro and Inderkum girls, and Pleasant Grove and Valley kick it on the pitch. Plus, I'll introduce you to Kayla Aguilar of Rocklin High School, a rising archery star. You're watching Premier Preps. Welcome to another episode of Premier Preps. I am your host, Nick Pecoraro, and welcome to 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us as Premier Preps rolls into the new year. We've got some great coverage to kick off 2025, and we start on the hardwood with a matchup of two of the top three teams in our Premier Preps top 10 rankings entering this week. Monterey Trail and Folsom both had incredible 4-0 showings at the Desert Holiday Classic in Palm Springs to close out 2024. Monterey Trail beat Nevada State champ Sierra Vista in its division, while the Bulldogs took down the team with the most California state championships ever in modern day. A great representation from the 916, and what a treat we got to have these two locking up in our own backyard. Monterey Trail and Folsom throwing down on Saturday night. A potential Sac Joaquin section finals preview between Monterey Trail and Folsom Saturday night, and we in the spot. Don't believe me? Just watch. It wasn't looking like it was going to be much of a game in the first quarter. Folsom comes out firing as Hovind Delay knocks down a pair of threes, and Folsom has a freshman to watch over the next few years in Parks Weaver. Weaving through traffic right here for a bucket. Folsom went on a 16-0 run to start the game and led 16-7 after one. Not a problem, says Monterey Trail's Rashawn Engelman. That triple is a Rashawn special right there. And then here he is again on the defensive end, the strip and the dip, and the Mustangs come all the way back to take the lead. The Trail has a freshman phenom of its own in 6'7" Devon DeRoe, flexing his muscles underneath, and even after the 16-0 deficit, Monterey Trail leads 29-28 at the half. Third quarter, Hovind Delay continues his hot shooting for Folsom. He had 14 on the night. But you know who else had the hot hand? Rashawn Engelman. Much to the dismay of the Bulldogs, but he wasn't the only one knocking down threes for MT. Baron Roseboro had 12 points, all from beyond the arc. And the Mustangs are cruising in the third. But we've got a Ryder Lyons sighting for Folsom. We're used to seeing him work his magic at QB. Here he is doing the dirty work for the Bulldogs. But Rashawn Engelman matches the old-fashioned three-point play. He had 30 for the Mustangs. MT leads by 14 after 3. Chase Rollins had 17 of his team-high 26 in the fourth. Chase was on the case, trying to keep his team close. Here he feeds Scott Nardinelli for 3, and it's back to a single-digit game. But it was too much Monterey Trail on this night. Devon DeRoe finished with 14 and 14, capped off by an and one right here. And Monterey Trail with a statement win before the start of league play.
The way we came back and stayed together as a team, and then we pushed through and made runs.
We stayed together, we stayed locked in, and we just came through with the win.
Come to our games, and yeah.
With some big-time top 10 matchups this week, we are starting to get a vision of how our big picture top 10 should look. And hey, as always, our big picture top 10 is presented by LENIE'S Pictures, the official photography sponsor for Premier Preps. You can scan the QR code here or visit LENIE'Spictures.com and get $7 photo downloads by using the promo code NP7. That's exclusive to Premier Preps. And this is your latest boys basketball big picture top 10 presented by LENIE'S Pictures. To the pitch we go. The Valley Vikings of Elk Grove won their first ever Sac Joaquin Section Championship last year, claiming the D3 title in their first ever finals appearance. Pleasant Grove, meanwhile, is off to a hot start, looking to contend in the newly revamped Delta League. The Vikings and the Eagles on Friday afternoon. Bit of a soggy Friday afternoon game at Valley High School. The defending section champion Vikings hosting Pleasant Grove. And the defending champs waste no time getting on the board. Giovanni Guillen swoops into your screen near midfield. A little give and go action with Brian Saldana. One dribble, one shot, one time. That's the second goal of the season for Guillen, and it gives Valley a 1-0 lead less than 5 minutes into the game. PG on the attack at the other end. Ocean Jones getting up close and personal, but Giovanni Madriz is there with a nice slide tackle to kick it away. But Valley is not out of the woods just yet. They still have to defend the corner kick. Jalen Medina plays it in. The ball's just kind of hanging around for a bit, but Valley ultimately comes away unharmed. Vikings looking to add on. Rodrigo Rodriguez looking for a cross inside, but PG keeper Adam Magdaleno is there for the denial. PG with a free kick on the other end. Brady Brown going to play it in for Ocean Jones. The header is off mark, and Valley keeper Christopher Ortega comes away with it. 2 minutes to play in the half. PG with another free kick. Brown going to take it again for the Eagles, and this time it's a frickin' laser beam right through the wall. That's the second goal of the season for the Chico State commit. We're all square at one apiece at the break. About 15 minutes into the second half, check out this play. I don't know what I like better, the feed from Rodrigo Rodriguez or the boot from Giovanni Guillen. Either way, an outstanding connection right there to put the Vikings back in front, 2-1 on Guillen's second goal of the day. Pleasant Grove has a few more tries at knotting this thing up. Brown's header off the corner feed is high, and then Diego Cisneros on a free kick, but it's tucked away by Ortega, and Valley takes a 2-1 win to start 2025 on the right foot.
We're all dogs, we leave it out on the field. And yeah, we don't really talk much, but we let the scoreboard do the talking for us. Preseason's over, the league's starting, so we're just gonna get business handled and wait until playoffs.
Time now to take a look at our first set of boys soccer top 10 rankings for 2025. Can't get enough high school sports in Sacramento? Well, Premier Preps has got you covered like no one else. You want game highlights? We got you. You want local insight? We got you. You want inspirational feature stories? We've got you. How about exclusive interviews with prominent players and coaches in the area? We got you. Scores, updates, top plays, and much, much more every Sunday at 5 o'clock during the high school season on YouTube. We look back at the week that was and keep you updated on who's got next. So follow along on social media and subscribe on YouTube to Premier Preps with me, Nick Pecoraro, because it's giving Sacramento high school sports the coverage it deserves. Rocklin senior Kayla Aguilar was an avid football fan growing up, and she got a chance to play the game she loves on the Thunder varsity flag football team this year. But that's not where she shines the brightest. Despite being born with a limb difference, Kayla is a fast rising star in the world of archery, and Premier Preps has her story. There are a lot of strong qualities that you'll notice upon meeting Rocklin senior Kayla Aguilar.
First of all, it's her smile. She's always smiling. always positive. She's always saying hello to everybody. She's not one of the kids that will kind of big time you and kind of walk by you, and if she sees you, I don't want to address a teacher or something like that. She'll say hello to you and she'll engage. And so that's the first thing we really notice about Kayla.
And although an initial handshake may catch some people off guard, Kayla wholeheartedly embraces a limb difference with which she was born.
Yeah, so I was born with 3 fingers on my right hand, and these 2 are webbed. I had the option to separate them when I was younger, but I decided not to because this one doesn't have full range of motion. But growing up, I definitely got looks every now and then, or like people telling my mom, like, oh my gosh, like what is she gonna do? Like, are you worried about her? And I just never thought of it as a big deal at all. Like, I just did things the way I would. And I really connected with the movie Nemo. It was my lucky fin because it was his right hand, it was smaller. But just doing everything, like I just found my own way to do it and made modifications.
Her lucky fin hasn't kept her from playing sports. An avid football fan growing up, Kayla finally got a chance to mix it up on the Rocklin flag football team. And although she has experienced some discrimination on the field, she hasn't let that stop her from performing.
I was team captain for JV last year for flag football. I had a girl pull her hand away and didn't shake my hand. I will not name the school, but I didn't let that get into me, and I ended up intercepting one from her that game.
Really?
She was so mad.
While flag football gave Kayla a chance to create friendships and bonds in a team setting, she truly shines in an individual sport as a rising star in the world of competitive archery.
Really, like, the competitiveness of sports came into my life when I became a competitive archer in 6th grade. And through that, like, watching my skill develop.
She has a lot of potential, and the more she practices, the better off she is. And she enjoys the sport. That's the biggest thing, and she's got that mindset to shoot for gold.
California-wise, I held the state champion record in my division for a really long time. Not this year so far because I had to take a break for flag football. I have done 2 national tournaments, 1 field tournament, and then Vegas. And especially with archery being such like a mental challenge, like you could be shooting so good and get in your head, it'll mess it all up. But I think of knowing like how far I can go with my hand like this, that helps me a lot.
Kayla's coach believes that if she chooses to zero in on a career in archery, it's a target that she can easily hit.
Very much so, and she won't compete in a disabled manner. She wants to compete against the best, and she can compete against the best. She could probably, if she really put her head down to it and wanted to go pro, she could probably go pro.
I have thought about doing archery, and the type of bow I shoot isn't allowed in the Olympics, but it is allowed in the Paralympics, which I do qualify for. So I have been thinking about that a little bit.
And whether it's in a team sport, conquering an individual sport, or just learning to overcome her differences, Kayla hopes to be an inspiration to others.
I was trying so hard to fit in for such a long time, and that was stressing me out, especially with my right hand. I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna do what I usually do. That's helped me a lot, and just showing confidence with my right hand. And that shows people like, wow, like she knows what she's doing. And there's like a whole world of people in sports with like limb differences. When you're in a sport and people see that you have a limb difference, it's kind of like, wow, that's amazing. And I really hope that can help like younger kids or like parents who have a kid with a limb difference, like know that like it's okay, it's gonna be totally fine.
From Rocklin High School, I'm Nick Pecoraro, and this is Premier Preps. The end of December is chock full of great tournaments on the hardwood, and we head to the championship game of the West Park Winter Classic, where the reigning tourney champ Del Oro, led by San Diego hoops commit Bellavon Seipler, was challenged by an up-and-coming Inderkum team led by Sac State commit Jemiah Fontenberry. Couple of teams to watch for come late February, going head-to-head for the tourney title on Monday night. The championship game of the West Park Winter Classic, couple dark horse teams, Inderkum and Del Oro, going at it Monday night in Roseville. From the opening tip, D.O. gets out to a hot start as Peyton Hyde takes a lay-in for a quick 2-0 lead. Golden Eagles keep pushing. Bellavon Seipler with a bullet pass up ahead to sophomore Frankie Steffes. But Inderkum fires back as Jemiah Fontenberry. They call her the boss. She gets the Tigers going, but Del Oro finishes the first quarter strong. Maddie Poe cleans up the offensive miss, and the Golden Eagles lead 12-6 after one. Second quarter, Indy makes a push as Tiana Honrada takes it strong to the rack, and then Jemiah Fontenberry follows suit. The baseline bucket and one for the boss, but she was far from finished. The future Sac State Hornet getting into the paint, and that brings the Tigers to within a point midway through the second. Del Oro would stop the bleeding momentarily. Bellavon Seipler's been working out. She muscles one in from the post, but Indy's still hanging around. Here's freshman Anaya Brune for three. That ties the score at 20 apiece. She had 10 on Monday, and the Tigers are feeling themselves. On the other end, Maddie Poe thinks she has an and one bucket, but no ma'am, says Breanne Flood, who takes a charge with a 1/10 of a second left on the clock. That keeps it a 1-point game at the break. Third quarter, Dio swings it around the outside for Alina Estrada. Splish splash, that one's straight cash. But Jemiah Fontenberry doing her thing at the other end, nearly loses her footing, but keeps her cool. She had 13 to lead the Tigers on Monday. Not much else going on for Indy in the third, though. Just 5 points for the Tigers. Dio takes advantage. Alina Estrada off the feed from Peyton Hyde on the break, and Del Oro takes an 11-point lead into the fourth. Bellavon Seipler keeping the foot on the gas for the Golden Eagles. She had 12 on Monday. Tigers trying to keep it close. Breanne Flood with the hoop and the harm. That brought it to as close as 10, but the Golden Eagles were just too strong on this night. Von Seipler dishing. Frankie Steff is swishing, and Del Oro wins the West Park Winter Classic for the second straight year. Bellavon Seipler named tourney MVP.
We definitely have a little bit of room to grow, but I think we're going strong. I think we're good, and I think we're going to really come out and surprise a lot of people in league with how good we are. I mean, we're just we have chemistry. We all come out here and it's family, and it's it's really hard to beat a team that plays like family, that wants to see each other succeed. So I think we're going to be dangerous come league.
Time now for our big picture girls basketball top 10 presented by LENIE'S Pictures. Hey, right now is the perfect time to order your custom banners and yard signs to celebrate your season. Any sport, any school, any occasion, take advantage of great deals at LENIE'spictures.com. And without further ado, here are the latest girls basketball big picture top 10 presented by LENIE'S Pictures.
LENI'S Pictures is your go-to site for priceless photos and memorabilia. This local family business has captured great action shots for a decade, but there's so much more to offer with a personalized touch for team and individual photos, game day galleries, banners, yard signs, festive mementos for senior nights, team banquets, or even just to cheer your kid on at their games, all 100% custom made by LENI'S Pictures, any student, any season, any occasion. So make those memories last forever and visit LENI'spictures.com and use the promo code NP7 for $7 photo downloads exclusively through Premier Preps. That's LENI'spictures.com, your official photography sponsor for Premier Preps.
There were just too many outstanding matchups this week in the boys hoops landscape that we just had to get another one this week. And who better to check in with than the team that entered the week as our number one spot in our weekly top 10. That would be the Inderkum Tigers. Fresh off a 3-1 showing at the Torrey Pines Holiday Classic in San Diego, the Tigers began league play this week with a CVC newcomer, the 12-2 Christian Brothers Falcons, who reached the Sac Joaquin Section Finals a year ago. That league just got stronger. A league opening banger happening in Natomas on Friday night. Inderkum has spent some time as the top team in our Premier Preps top 10. Christian Brothers in town Friday night with something to say about that. Here we go. First quarter, CB coming out strong as Cam Nero gets the offensive board and lays it in for an early deuce. But Indy responds quickly. Sincere Hudson with the three. That was the start to a huge night for the sophomore. The Tigers run a press break to perfection, ending in a lob to Malachi Johnson for the jam. But Christian Brothers isn't going anywhere. Andre Rab Patterson with the three ball to tie it at 14. And then Stephon Hewitt buries one of his own, and the Falcons take a 17-14 lead after one. Hewitt keeps the hot hand in the second quarter, another three ball, and CB is up by 4 now, but here is where the Tigers turn up the heat. Sincere Hudson had 10 points in the first half. We're going to show you 6 of them right here. The three ball from the wing, and then another three ball from the corner. That puts Indy back in front. Falcons are keeping it close, though. Daniel Powers drives and kicks to sophomore Ezra Riley. Riley had 11 on Friday, but the Tigers closed the first half with a bang, literally. LJ Chadwick with a steal, and he gives it up to Jaden Claxton. A big smash, and Inderkum leads by 7 at the half. Third quarter now, more defense and more lobs from Inderkum. Hudson leads it to Malachi Johnson. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. And then Sincere Hudson starts to take this game over. A three from the top of the key. That's followed by another one from near the same spot. The bank is open on a Friday night in Natomas. Hudson had 11 in the third, and Indy leads by 16 heading to the fourth. Stephon Hewitt kept it close for the Falcons. He had 15 in the fourth, 25 in the game on 6 threes. But this next sequence pretty much shut things down for the Tigers. Sincere Hudson says, "Don't mind if I do," all the way to the lane for the jam. And don't go anywhere, folks, because Taylon Goodman steals it and gets the lob from Hudson. The Tigers are just playing around right now. But they weren't done playing above the rim. LJ Chadwick had to get in on the fun. Inderkum, always good for an in-game dunk contest. The Tigers have won 37 straight league games.
We just locked in. We weren't woke at the beginning of the game. We woke up. We started rebounding, playing defense, and we took over.
What else should people know about this Inderkum team moving forward?
That we're the best in SAC.
We'll make sure to pick up our girls' soccer coverage next week, but we're still keeping tabs on everyone. So for now, we give you our latest Premier Preps girls' soccer top 10. Infinite Performance Physical Therapy brings you our plays of the week every week here on Premier Preps. You know, Dr. Janae Young keeps everyone on track with her sports-specific training models, injury rehab and prevention programs, and much, much more. So make sure you connect with Infinite Performance Physical Therapy to meet all of your specific needs. And don't forget, you can send me Play of the Week nominees each week on social media. Just tag me with a short clip, let me know what's going on with the play. It could be a buzzer-beating game winner, a major milestone, or just a ridiculous play that you just know has to be on Premier Preps. So here's who we've got this week in our Infinite Performance Plays of the Week. We've got Folsom's Chase Rollins getting up to throw down the big-time bunnies for the Folsom Ace. Weston Ranch's Darion Lilly sends the game into OT with a three-quarter court heave. The Cougars end up beating Bullard in OT at the Modesto Christian tourney. We go to Valley High School. We got Rodrigo Rodriguez with the good feed and Giovanni Guillen with the good deed. A tremendous cross and a tremendous kick as Valley beats Pleasant Grove 2-1. All right, this next sequence is from Inderkum. Sincere Hudson gonna take it all the way down the lane for the bang. And then, folks, do not get up for a snack because Taylon Goodman's going to get the steal, gives it back to Hudson, who gives Goodman the lob. Inderkum with an aerial display on Friday. And that is your Infinite Performance Play of the Week. That's it for episode 20 of Premier Preps. We're nearly halfway through the season, and we are just getting started as we get into the thick of league play in all of our winter sports next week. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for all the coverage. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, and Happy New Year once again. I'm Nick Pecoraro. We will see you next week.